Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dharma friends, when we look at the history of Buddha's teaching, and especially when it comes to Western countries, so that is where we are today. And when it came to Western countries, and we see that how it get influenced by the Western culture. So then it's kind of like, because the mostly when you look like the 1970, 1980, so like that period, this self-motivational books became more familiar, and mostly this self-motivational method came to world. It's like it is a kind of like the culture in the Western countries, and achieve to something, gaining something. So then when the Buddhism came to Western countries, and you say that what happened, that the main the culture start to slowly that overtake and transform these teachings to to it ideas that whatever used to be here. But the very nature of the Buddha's teaching is completely different. So that's why it is better you understand so what happened in the society. So in the Buddha's teaching, there is no idea to gain something. So as example, even though that we as a practice point of view, we use some word as a some example, self or the spirit. Actually in Buddhism, and we don't deeply go into spirit. We don't give that much credit for spirit, and also it is not kind of like a self motivation to gain something. So it always to release ourselves is the path in the Buddha's teaching. That is the ultimate destination is releasing everything. It doesn't matter. In the beginning, you release all the unprofitable skills, and then later that all you releasing the whatever the bad actions, and then later what happening, once you purify, when you completely become white, and then you release that also, that is where you get into the nibbana. So somehow in this journey that where we are today, we mostly kind of like to gain. So when you have the gaining idea itself, it becomes naturally self-centered, because you are the one who gaining. So with that, the main purpose of the Buddha's teaching slowly going different way. But our purpose is not to point out or put a label, this is right, this is wrong, this is they did wrong thing, this person did right. No, we are not going to analyze anything, this is right or this is wrong. But we have to understand where we are today. So what we have to do, so whatever we have to accept today, and then we have to see from here how we can get the best out of the situation, rather than resisting it, rather than fighting it. Because even to get into that kind of fight or rejection or the resistance, then you wasting your time. So then it's better. Even our whole samsara journey is like that. So because we come with the we come with the desires, we come with the greed, hatred, and the delusion. And it doesn't matter, sometimes the things feel like nice and good, and sometimes ugly and hard. But somehow we appear like this. We all are in this samsara because of the greed, hatred, and the delusion. So you cannot fight with it. This fighting idea not in Buddhism. Conquering idea not in Buddhism. So then where we have to start? So now, because everybody look for a purpose, it is a very famous, very marketing word. Purpose, have a purpose, even ourselves, we always, especially when we talk to children, we push them, have a purpose, have a purpose. But when you become, conventionally, for a conventional life, you have to have a purpose. And it can maybe based with the the material, and it can maybe based with the emotions or whatever. But when it comes to vipassana level, if you look very carefully, what is your purpose? So when it comes to that the vipassana level, the very purpose, if you look very carefully, so you see that all the idea come with this in conventional life, also the deeply inherent with that idea, that purpose. What is that purpose? From morning to night, everybody doing this, everything, even that we have idea to become successful, become a millionaire, become rich, or it is good. Nothing wrong with it. You have to be like that if you can do that, because then you can do something better. So sometimes if you don't become like that, then somebody else become, because the world behave according to that way, then how about the bad guy become rich better than the good guy? Then the world going to become, so that's why if you can become rich, and if you can become a millionaire, if you can become investor, entrepreneur, if you can become kind of the good person, even to become a president, that is good. Go for it. But at the same time, when it comes to vipassana level, what is the real purpose of life? If you look very carefully, it is get out of the suffering. If you look morning to night, whatever you do, even you have idea to become somebody, to do something, mostly even naturally, when you lying down, you sleeping, you deep sleep, even if your body kind of like hurt itself because of the posture, the body consciously and itself, even though that you don't think like that, unconsciously what is happening, this muscle memory start to adjust the body to find the comfort. That mean get out of the suffering. So like that in day-to-day life, this whatever we do, even though it has the outside layer looking for happiness, more than look for happiness, if you look very carefully, you have a deeper intention to get out of the suffering. So that is a beautiful gift that we have. So then that's why this everybody like to become a millionaire, having a higher purpose in life and become a better person, become rich, this all. That is a good, that the source that we have, if you find it. And maybe somebody cannot find it, but still it can help for them to divert it to the wisdom or the nibbana. Because your purpose is, even though you like to become happy, enjoy life, but remember, deeply you have each and every, even the animal, all the animals, All the living being have this nature. What is that nature? Get out of the suffering, knowingly or unknowingly. Maybe they don't practice that that the Four Noble Truth, Eightfold Path, in the different ways. Maybe they go with the wrong way, but some they have deeply, they want to get out of the suffering. So that is where we are. So then we have to use, okay, we have to have a purpose. And so without having a purpose, life is not good. You have to have a higher goal. So like that, then keep that goal. What is that? Get out of the suffering. So for that, then you have to look, once you have it, and sometimes you see in your life, why this happened to me? Why I am here like this? Why I am suffering like this way? So once you set up the goal to get out of the suffering, because everybody say you have to have a purpose. So keep that purpose. And then you have to look, why I am suffering like this? How I came to this kind of suffering? Then you little by little go deeper to understand that's cause and effect. And then maybe you get into the theory of the karma, and then the power of the mind. So then you recognize this all. And that will slowly lead you to the path of the wisdom. So then that's why, because rather than telling things wrong, so we have to be, it's kind of like becoming smart in a way, that we use the word smart. That doesn't mean that you're going to be really smart, but we all are ignorance, but still in that ignorance, we use the word smart just to, to give a push little bit ourselves. That's what. So then once you get into that, there are hindrance within ourselves. And mainly 5 hindrance: kama, chanda, vyapada, tina, midda, uddacha, kukucha, vichikicha. The self-centered desires, that anger, and sloth and thirst, and this all the comparison and everything, laziness, doubt, this all. So those are hindrance in the journey. But also, there are certain things when it comes to practice meditation, even not some kind of other meditations, especially in the samatha and vipassana. There are certain things that you have to be very careful. So today I put on the Facebook, I put the topic, why do we love sandwich? That's the topic today. So the reason is this: when it comes to meditation, especially this is mostly if you practice meditation, especially if you are interested regarding the vipassana. So we are little by little, directing ourselves to the real path, because that is necessary. We don't need to go here and there. So then when it comes to meditation, life deeply, if you see, we have hindrance, and at the same time we have some other nature. What is one thing? These people, the people, we are the people. The people like put things together. If you look very carefully, they're crazy to do that. That's why people like sandwiches. Burger, sometimes people fly from other countries, that there are New York, there are places, the burger they build and putting, many things, this much bigger burgers, and people, fly from other countries to eat that. There's nothing, something that is special. No, they put things together. Hot dog, just the bun is not enough. They put things together. And when the people who like to cook, see that when they like to put things together. So that is a nature inside us. So this constructive nature, you slowly have to observe even in day-to-day life, with things. Always we like to, rather than keep something simple, we have deeper nature. I don't know from where it coming, but still everybody, like when you put something next to it, we don't like to keep it kind of like empty alone. So you have to catch that nature, and then you have to slowly get out of it. You will see it going to, you will see how beautiful it going to experience. You're going to experience it if you're able to get it. Rather than, because people, the very nature of the, even see how when they cook, even you make a cake, if it is just the cake, no. How about you put the icing, and then you put a little bit of fruit on it, or the maybe chocolate chip on it, then it become kind of, you say, come like, oh wow. Even the ice cream, just look how that, they like to put things together. And this that there are places when you go, like why people like to eat salad. Look, they like to put things together. So that's the nature within ours. Even that even ourselves, when you wear a piece of your garment, when you get ready with that, it's a kind of like something is when you put things, more things, it people is like a beautiful. Like when you go to temple, mostly you just completely be wearing white, nothing, no, not like that. So, but mostly when people go to parties, like when it comes to saris, Indian, saris, it's crazy all over the world. Women go crazy for Indian saris. Why? Because it put things together, many things. Oh, it give wow. Don't say it like that. Even they polish the nails and put the colors, and just that not enough for them. Keep clean it not enough. They put then little, this design, then it come kind of wow. So like that, everywhere you see, everywhere we go crazy to put things together. And so what you have to do, just try to separately experience something. So don't think that it's, the meditation, it's only just closing eyes, sitting, unmovable. No, it's not like that. Even, when you eat something without mixing a lot of things, like vegetable, you boil little bit vegetable, one vegetable, and just eat that, only that. It's going to cure hunger. But more than cure hunger, it's become something, it's challenging you. So there are times came, there were times in the history when the people didn't have to eat anything that much like today. Just on 3 leaves, they boil it a little bit and they just ate it. But still, they was okay. So like that, it's nothing to do with the hunger. So what you eat or what you do. So then try to, maybe it is difficult for you. Even just thinking about it, it's going to make you depressed. No, just try. Little by little, mentally at least have kind of like have idea. So then you will see. It will help deeply. It will help a lot for your meditation practice. Why? The very nature of the world is putting things together, constructing, building. And it's kind of like, people like to be like that way. They cannot become, even the body itself, they cannot keep. They want to put a tattoo on it, you know. So that's how they become like that. They feel something then, you know. So then slowly remember that yourself, to get out of this putting things together. And this deconstruction, it kind of like, because the we have nature that in vipassana level, it's complete. You have to, rather than gaining things, you completely removing things. That is where we go. That is where you're going to get out of the suffering. Illumination. So you get out, completely get out of things. And then you deconstruct, and also you destroy something which cannot get it back. So that is the desire. You destroy your desire, you eliminate your desire, which it cannot get it back to something. So when you go that way, rather than putting things together, releasing going to help for you. So that is one thing. And another thing is, another mistake, especially when it comes to vipassana, and the samatha also, some people have this. They have the idea, and we just say it because as monks, we, conventionally we use words supreme bliss. Then the people think, oh, the nibbana is something, or it's supreme. It's a marvelous, it's the complete happy place. So like that, you give kind of like the great and supreme. So when you think like that way, that you have the idea of that. As I mentioned, the early ages in the Western countries, they had the idea to achieve to something. So this, all the words we have today with that influence. So the supreme bliss of Nibbana, or when you think about the supreme bliss of the Nibbana, when it becomes supreme, listen this very carefully. When it becomes supreme, it cannot be Nibbana. But we use that word, and it's because you have the dualistic mind to understand the supreme. Otherwise, you cannot understand supreme. So, and the bliss. So, when it comes to supreme, it's the supreme, if higher, and it cannot become Nibbana. So then itself we have an idea. We have to get out of this all, and we're going to become kind of like, it's kind of like the same mentality, kind of like having a superpower. Dictator. You're going to dictate the samsara. I'm achieving to the supreme power. So that is a mistake that we do. So, but the thing is, in the beginning, we have to use that words. But because to understand it deeply, it's kind of like you have to come to a place on the way. Otherwise, we cannot talk like this. Because just for the beginner, if we talk like this, we are in the beginning, we have to, bless them. Oh, achieve to supreme bliss of Nibbana. Then he start to look for supreme bliss. And then on the way, okay, then practice meditation. And then he practice meditation. And on the way, then we have to tell, now you have to, if you want to get the Nibbana, drop that supreme part. So like that, it's a part by part, like how the parents, that the feeding to children sometimes. And maybe You have to teach that, feed them telling something which is not, it's going to be not make sense. Yeah. So same thing happen in the Dhamma also. So, and other thing is that we have that deeper inherent nature. We like to go with wrong views. So we have the right view, and at the same time you have to be very careful to know that we have inherent nature to love for wrong views. So it's a kind of like in the world, when we look at the world, it always in it always happening. So then ourselves, it's that the world in nature, but ourselves, we have to understand how we can get out of it. So then yourself, if you look for get out of the suffering, remember, never go with any wrong view. That wrong view means not others. Once you know it is a wrong view, get out of it. At least, it's say like this. If you cannot do, if you cannot do the good, at least, let it be as good. So like that, if you cannot, you know, go, go, if you cannot that go with the right view, it is okay for the moment, because sometimes everybody cannot go with it. So then we have to accept, and maybe you have to go certain, the journey yourself to understand. But if you cannot go with it, at least don't destroy it. So like that, maybe if you cannot go with the right view, at least just let it be as a right view. Maybe we are in the wrong view. So maybe we going wrong view, the mostly what we does, once we go with the wrong view and we destroy the right view, don't do it. So just let it be. So you see, there are in the world, there are some people, that once they start to come to the certain ideas, they destroy whatever the right things. Why you destroy the right things? Even in the ancient times, and sometimes dictators, they came to world, and once they get into the power, the very first thing they did, burn the libraries, destroy the books. In the history, you see, there are some kings, they conquer the Sri Lanka, and right away what they did, they burn all the Dhamma books. And even in India, Nalanda, the like the universities, once they conquer, they burn all the universities, they destroy all the books. See, that we love the wrong view. And the other thing is, we love the wrong view, we destroy the right view. So that is the worldly nature. Even deeply, sometimes ourselves also, around us, we see in day-to-day life. Maybe just think a little plant. Maybe you don't like it. Just let it be. At least just let it be. Maybe you don't like it. It is okay. It is up to you. But you don't like doesn't mean you have to destroy it. So like when it comes to Dhamma, that we like the wrong view, the wrong thing with that is, once we go with it, we destroy the right view. No, and in day-to-day life, maybe as a husband, wife, children, parents, maybe you practice something else. But that doesn't mean if other person go with the something and he should be like this. No. Even sometimes that they say, oh, we are the right and you are the wrong. So everybody think according to their views they are right. So, but when it comes to yourself, how you analyze what is right or wrong? So look yourself, is it good for you and good for others? Very simple. If it is good for you and good for others, if it is not based with the greed, hatred, and the delusion, go for it. Nothing wrong going to happen. But if it is not good for you, maybe it is good for others, and maybe it is good for that you and not good for others, or if it is good for others and not good for you, or maybe it is related with the greed, hatred, and the delusion, then don't do anything with your bodily, verbally, or mentally action. Why? Because the result going to be something hard. So when it comes to the right view or the wrong view, just whatever you, just look like that way. And if it is so, but if it still you want to do, maybe knowingly it is wrong, we like to do. That is what this nature. Knowingly this is wrong, people like to do things. So we have to get out of it slowly. So how? Once you see inside yourself, even when you're talking, that there is a conversation go. If you feel like if you say, the kind of like a funny thing, they will laugh and it is a good time to tell something funny. And maybe you keep creating yourself to tell something and which is not true. So, and while it creating yourself, you're going to tell lie. So right away, don't do it. Just pause it. Stop it. So that knowingly you tell it is lying, and telling lies is the going with the wrong views. You love the wrong views. You know it is telling lies is not good, and you create the lies and still you did it. So there is a energy that with that. So get out of it. How? Once you see something inside you, if you know it is not right, don't do it. Don't do it. Whatever, even just yourself, even with something. You maybe no one around you, no one see that. But yourself, if you know why, even just thinking yourself, why you have to think this way? Just stop it. Don't keep doing that way. So those are the three things, especially when it comes to meditation. So getting to that three things little bit, it take time, but still it's worth little by little, little by little. You have to be matured with the path also. So the first one, that don't keep that the sandwich mind. Get out of it little by little. Yeah? And it is good for children. And even when it comes to techniques, people like to practice many techniques. No, keep with something, keep with something and focus to that, and stay relaxed and calm, and don't have the gaining mentality, supreme, achieving to something higher, achieving something to better. No, because why? It is already inherent inside you. You don't see it. So that's why don't have that kind of nature. Release, and other things, don't love the wrong views, and slowly, little by little, get out of it. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhava. Ittavata ca ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya idammi punya kammam asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.